Tell me to punch you for the jump. Now?
Speed Racer is a 2008 film unlike the thousands released that year, which is probably why everybody who likes the film, including myself, say that the movie was just ahead of its time. The film is grand with its visuals, leaving you to feel immersed in a part of the world like the characters themselves sitting on the sidelines watching the races. Which is a shame the movie didn't do very well in the box office, needing an extra $30 million just to break even with the budget. Sadly means there won't ever be a Speed Racer film again until they decide to remake it. I hope this movie has gained a cult following though in the last 12 years because it deserves so much more than it got. I remember seeing this film in theaters at 8 years old, not enjoying the film at all, but 12 years later I can confidently say that Speed Racer is one of my favorite films, and for good reason. Speed Racer is a masterpiece in visual storytelling due to the stylistic choice the Wachowski sisters took when directing this movie. Color is everything in this film, the world of Amazement revolves around this, and so does the morals of the film. Blue, red, pink, all the colors you can trust when these colors represent the Speed family and their code. While colors like purple and black signify the darker side of racing industry, and with Speed's white tracksuit, the colors of good and evil always seem to be clashing within Speed. You can see how conflicted Speed looks in the scenes when he's at the Thunderdome after hours, or when he's getting ready to leave his house and the black lightning shines over him, showing he doesn't know what's right. But then Pop sits Speed down to give him advice, shining light onto his world with the bright red cups and pantry illuminating behind him. They look amazing too. Scenes at the Thunderdome or in the ice caves blow me away every time I watch them. People might have an issue with the style of the film, but I love the way this film looks, and I love the way Speed sees the track in front of him. The way he jumps out of his Mach 5 when he wins a race, or the way he leaves the tracks behind him never looking back. Speed's mother describes it as speed making art, and she's absolutely right on that one. You could watch this movie with no sound on and still understand everything that's going on in front of you, which is why I think this movie is amazing, but why would you, since the music is the cherry on top of what makes this film so great. I can't understate how much I love the feel and look of this film. Even with these goofy transitions, which bothered me at first, grew on me rather quickly and helped enhance the film's experience for me. From the very start of the movie, we get this fun visual sequence where we cut from Speed as a kid using his drawings to imagine himself racing at school before being picked up by his older brother Rex for one of those driving lessons that Speed loves so much. Then we cut to present day where Speed is getting ready for a race on his home tracks at the Thunderdome. These first 10 minutes of the movie, we learn everything we need to know about Speed and the rest of the Racer family, which I think is needed for a film like this. We learn about Rex and his impact on the Speed family before leaving the family to race against dirty racers. Unfortunately, Rex was labeled a dirty racer himself, tarnishing the Racer family name before dying in an accident during a Casa Cristo match.
For the worst crashes I have ever...
How could this happen? This is terrible. This is just terrible.
There's still no sign of driver restoration.
And I tell you all this because the first race of the Thunderdome was my favorite in the film. There was just so much emotion and speed during this race because the stakes were so high for him personally. I think more so than the final race, because Speed isn't going up some company or Hall of Famer. He is going up against his brother's legacy and time record on his city's tracks.
Holy cannoli, Speed.
You know who you're racing?
Yeah. And Speed is winning too, with the announcers and audience going crazy, but you're sitting and gripping your seat just like the rest of the Racer family, watching to see if he'll surpass his brother's memory. But Speed slows down at the last second, letting his brother's legacy stand as we get this beautiful shot of Racer standing in the same spot his brother did so many years ago.
Finish this! Unbelievable! Split second late! Our record still stands!
I won't spoil the rest of the races, but they are tension-packed, especially when we get to the latter half of the film and some of the races take place on more than just tracks, and we start meeting the cheaters of the racing world, doing whatever they can to take Speed Racer out. The Wachowski sisters are always able to make sure we know where Speed's position is compared to the other racers, which helps when the races are as chaotic and as fun as they are. The outrageous spectacle of a world you get throughout this movie wouldn't work though if the characters and the dialogue themselves weren't as outrageous too. Everybody in this film is as vibrant with their performances as the color around them, and it works perfectly in my opinion. Racer might be the straight man of the movie, but even then, he was already pretty out there as a child with all of his classmates making fun of him, except for Trixie, his present-day girlfriend. And I might not talk about Trixie a lot here, but her and Speed relationship is very cute. Just watch her see on Inspiration Peak if you want to know what I mean.
Maybe at the end of some big race,
When I pull into victory lane, I scoop you up and kiss you. Thousands of flashbulbs going off.
Would that be so terrible, Mr. Super Famous Race Car Driver?
I don't know. Maybe we should practice.
It's also very nice that Trickster herself is a fun character to watch, and she's just as confident as Speed behind the wheel. Speaking of being behind the wheel, all Speed can think about is racing. The movie describes Speed as naive, and they're kinda right. All he knows how to do is race and be the best he can at it. Well, that and karate, apparently. But Speed is a good kid from the start of the film to the end, even if he struggles with himself about what's right for his family. And you can disagree with me if you want, but I think Emile Hirsch was perfect for this role. He looks just like what Speed Racer would look like, especially when he's wearing that blue and white polo. Emile is able to exert so much emotion while in this role. He has this cocky attitude, which I love when he's up against other racers, but when he's just by himself or with his family, he is as humble as one can be, even quite lost in his emotions. It's characters like Mr. Worthington, though, played by Roger Allam, that are so out there that the performances can't help but bring a smile to my face.
When I was a child, we used to say, Pannkuchen sind Liebchen. Pancakes are love.
Which makes him the perfect villain for this film. Tim Curry has perfected the overacting technique, and for a world like this, overacting is just the normal, so Roger Allam's performance just feels right. Worthington's plan to turn Speed into a dirty racer for his company, or have him fall into obscurity as a racer too if he doesn't, leads to a great monologue and a very quotable line. The racer family is just as out there, most of the family even knowing karate, which comes up later in the movie when they have to fight ninjas and mobsters. Yeah, you didn't hear that wrong. Ninjas and mobsters. Characters like Pops, played by John Goodman, play this great concerned father whose concerns revolve around him wanting the best for his family and for his son. Pops always doing these grunts and burps, which just make me laugh. I don't know why.
I'm going into town for some parts. I'll be back for lunch.
Sure thing, Pops.
But the real crazy ones in the family are Spritle, the youngest, and his best friend Chim Chim, who yes, is also a monkey that lives with them. I don't know how this kid doesn't have a longer film biography, because he was one of the best child actors I've ever seen in a film. Maybe it's because Paul Lewinsky was able to go all out with this role, but he just looks like he was having so much fun the entire movie.
Ow!
Nice shot!
Idle? Get that monkey!
Well, if the world and atmosphere of this film is as fantastical as it is, with its amazing visuals and CGI for 2008, on top of characters who are just amazing to watch with an exciting plot, doesn't make this movie great enough, then it's the scores by Michael Giacchino. They fill you up with excitement and anticipation during the races, and Speed Racer's theme is literally iconic and one of the most upbeat and energizing themes I've ever listened to. They take the original theme and transform it beautifully for this movie, and I'm so glad they incorporate it multiple times. The song is always a blast to hear and makes triumphant moments for Speed feel even more special.
He did not just do that!
Speed Racer is driving straight up a cliff face. Are we getting this?
C'est incroyable!
I don't know much about music myself, but I do know how it made me feel, and I felt on the edge of my seat during each one of the races due to the score and the impact they're able to convey on each scene. I love the back and forth the orchestra has during the racing scene of the score during Go Speed Go. Or when Speed makes it to the ice caves in the Casa Crystal match, the same spot where Rex died so many years ago, you feel how the music puts a sense of dread with the scene for the cave setting.
This is where Rex.
The music for the film is so good. I literally made a movie soundtrack playlist on my Spotify just so I can listen to the scores whenever I want. My twin who hates the film acknowledged out of all the flaws he sees in the film, the music is not one of them. And for me, the music is one of the reasons why I love this film so much. I hope out anything this video gets you to watch the film if you've never seen it, or at least go back for a second time if you have. I hope that in the next 5-10 years somebody will see the genius of this film and want to remake it, because with technology and CGI the way it is now, and God knows how advanced it will be later on, you can make another visual masterpiece like no other that year. Though if they do remake this film, they need talent like they had before with the Wachowski sisters to make it unique and stand out, not just to the thousands of other films that will be coming out that year, but to this 2008 modern classic too. Just because this movie was ahead of its time, doesn't mean it won't stand the test of it.
Here comes Speed Racer, he's a demon on wheels. He's a demon and he's gonna be chasing after someone. He's gaining on you, so you better look alive. He's busy revving up the powerful Mach 5. And when the odds are against him and there's dangerous work to do, bet your life, Speed Racer, to see it through. Go Speed Racer, go Speed Racer, go Speed Racer, go!